So I have this huge Tromboncino squash here. It's a crazy squash, but this one I'm going to do a couple of things with. As I mentioned, I'm going to take the bottom part, and because that's going to be the pulpiest, and I'm going to grate that up to make some muffins or some zucchini bread. Can't decide quite yet which. But this video is going to continue, and it's going to be about how do you preserve this by freezing it. Now, this particular type of squash, Tromboncino squash, this can be done with any type of summer squash, but I like Tromboncino squash particularly because it holds its shape really, really well when it's frozen. So I'm going to take most of this and I'm going to show you how I freeze it. But let's go ahead and get started on this. Step one, to do the grating. I'm going to go ahead and finish grating this zucchini squash. I'm going to do the whole bottom part. I want ultimately for my muffins about 1 cup of shredded drained pulp. I am going to cut this blunt end off, the blossom end off. There we go. Now you can see, I think, just the sugar forming on the edge of this. These have a lot of slightly sweet juice in them. I just picked this squash. Now I'm just going to take a strainer and I'm going to let some of the liquid settle out of this. Press it in. Now, as for the rest of this, I could go ahead and freeze this just by shredding it up, but I'm actually going to cube it up and use it for the soups. If you want to cut out the center part for this, you can, although it'll be fine. I cut it into about 3/4 to 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch pieces. Meanwhile, I've put a big pot of boiling water, onto boil. And what we'll do, once we've got all these cut up, is we're simply going to blanch them for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to rinse them in cold water to stop the cooking. I have a nice big bowl here of beautiful, beautiful squash, and I'm just going to take it, I'm going to dump it into boiling water, and I'm going to boil it for just 2 minutes, no more, and then I'm going to drain it, run it under cold water, and then we'll spread it out on some paper towels and some towels and try to get as much of the moisture out as we possibly can. Now at this point, you've got some options about how you want to go about doing the freezing. I'm going to use a vacuum sealer, and I like a vacuum sealer because it really squishes things down and I can fit much more in my freezer. But it's an investment, and if you don't want to make that investment, if maybe you don't freeze a whole lot, it's probably not worth it. Another thing that you can do is you can actually take these and lay them out on a baking sheet. I would put it, I'll put it on wax paper or something like that, or parchment, and put it into your freezer and let the individual squash pieces freeze, and then put them in a Ziploc plastic freezer bag or other container and let that be that. So let's go ahead and vacuum seal these because that's my option. First thing I'm going to do is make some bags. Seal the one end. Do the bag. I'm putting this in so that the water that gets sucked out falls into this little trough. It's going to make some noise. All right, I've got 5 packets, about a cup and a half packets of Tromboncino squash. So that'll be 5 soups or stews that these can be added to during the winter time and the off season. And probably what I'll end up doing is taking some out to Baltimore at some point. I'll have to be a transport of frozen things for when we go out there in winter time. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go stick these in the freezer. Check back for other videos on how I'm preserving this harvest and how I'm using it.